Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Thursday for you guys, and we're gonna keep this thing moving on. And today we're gonna make today's video actually a Q&A. Really interesting question. I kind of want to lead you guys in the direction of the way we think. Not saying that is always right. It's just a different perspective on certain topics, especially when it comes to breeding and breeding plans. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay. So between the what's in a box clutch videos, we figured we'll drop something a little different where we'll talk about planning, direction, some goals, some things that are non-goals, and hopefully you guys have been checking out the many playlists and the many videos we've been dropping for you guys. But we had a very unique unboxing from the bro Brandon Nixon Reptiles. Really like Brandon. He's really cool. Really good guy to talk to as far as genes and perspectives. I love his videos. Go check out his latest video on Kryptons. Very informative, especially coming from a breeder where we don't work with cryptic as of yet, cryptic or Kryptons. But I definitely see his viewpoint, and it was very enlightening. That being said, if you've seen the video, the unboxing, you know we got, I guess you could say, into Sunset. Audra's really liked Sunset for quite some time. But because we're doing it at what we call a high level on the business side of things, we have to do things very strategic. So the question, let me get it right, or at least the summary of the question. We got a long comment, actually, message sent on Instagram, being really funny because I tried to be kind of spontaneous with the video and the editing and kind of clipped Audra reaction, and it was quite the reaction to her unboxing or opening the bag and seeing the sunset. She was able to see Audra likes very bright colors, very vibrant colors, but she loves sunset because it's one of those golden tones where it's very hard to reproduce if you're not working with sunset. So that being said, she likes, the coral glows, the bananas, the very bright, subtle on the contrast side of things, but very bright and colorful colors. And she's been talking about sunset for a while. And the question in general was asking, if we really, did the edit and Audra really didn't know, how did she automatically, or why did she assume that, the sunset girl was a female? And I think it's a really good question, and something really good to point out at this point is because Audra and I, we talk all the time about geckos and snakes and programs and pairings. We literally sleep, eat, and breathe these businesses because they provide for our families and are quite the expensive interest and hobby to be in. And every single time we've been preaching about how we kind of go all out for a lot of our males. A lot of our males are what we perceive to be, or what we take to be, groundbreaking and game changing for us in the way we're trying to work them. At the same time, some of the combinations, either it's big combinations, rare combinations, or let's say not as complex but still untapped combinations. For example, getting into some of these projects, we have super orange dream, super inchy leopard, hypopod, het ultramel. Okay, that's super complex, and he's doing major numbers here at Flawless. But then we also have things that are very subtle, like the granite tragic male we have, very untapped. But again, that's only 2 genes at play. It's not het for anything at all. It's kind of very rare in the market right now. Then let's say some of our supers where It's not super gene packed. We have a Grim Reaper. Our Grim Reaper is not het for anything. And Grim Reaper is a super Grim. We also have Atari male, which is the super form of Hetari. He is pos het VPI Xanthic. But again, these combinations are not really super complex, but the genes and morphs that they are, I mean, it's really not a lot of people in those areas. So when we acquire those, we kind of make a plan around them and try to execute. So that, in a nutshell, as a summary, is why when she opened that bag, she was very, very, very happy. And at the same time, she automatically assumed it was going to be female, which she was correct, because, you know, hindsight being 2020 and the way we work and the way we do business, if she opened that up, she still will be happy, but she's not going to assume it's a male, because if she assumes it's a male, number one, it's going to be pretty expensive. And, you know, I'm not saying that females aren't, because females tend to be really expensive, but if that was visually, she saw that it was a sunset female, it has pinstripe in the mix, but if we were going to go after a sunset male, it would be like a sunset male, double het, this, that, a sunset male with the pinstripe that's het for something else, that's entering the double and triple recessive projects, where we can work that angle on things. And not only that, did you spend the money or whatever to acquire that sunset, but you're going to turn around for our game plan. If that's a male, now we got to go out there and spend $10,000-$15,000 on females. And she know we wasn't about to do that right at this moment. So she assumed right, and that's why. I guess we can go in detail in a later video on why, if you buy a big time male, why does that mean you have to go out and spend a ton of money on females to get lined up for them? We can kind of elaborate a little bit on our thought process. We have in the past, but it's been scattered across, I think we have over 200 videos at this point. So that thought process, we touch on it here and there, but maybe we'll do a video. Comment down below if you want to know why that's a thought process in the business building side of things. But that's pretty much it. It's not too complicated. She just automatically saw something she was extremely happy to see. And she knew we weren't spending another 15, 20 grand right at this moment to probably, you know, I don't know, I'll try to throw up some pictures of things that, you know, if that pinstripe sunset was a male, the view of what we would be potentially trying to pair in the future that male to create new combos. And that's the thing about pushing it forward. We don't want to just reproduce and create more, you know, sunsets, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, but that's not the angle. If you continue to try to produce things that you see in that current form, then guess what? When you buy that $5,000 male or female, whatever it may be, and then you start to reproduce those same genes in 5-6 years, that combination is now $1,000 or under. You have to buy these combinations, yes, because you like the combinations, but also putting your own little twist on it on what you would like to see, because sometimes what you would like to see does not always turn out great. You may want to see, may want to add special to something. You may want to add black pastel to a certain combo, and see what that turns out. It may blow up and it may not. It may fizzle out. But I mean, that's the name of the game. That's how we've all gotten to this point, you know, coming from Batmans and Pompeiis and, you know, Dreamsicles and all of these combos. You constantly want to see, with so many genes on the market, what can you add? Appreciate the combination for what they are, but just look at it as a canvas. And you don't want to just mass produce the same thing over and over and over, because that in its value of today will constantly decrease. It's like driving a car off the lot. You bring that car back next week, you're not going to get what you paid for it last week. And moving forward, so yes, that's a pinstripe sunset. Where do we go from this point with that girl? Honestly, that is completely up to Audra. We talk enough that I'm gonna leave that project or whatever because it's not gonna end up being a project. It's gonna be the start of an expansion on something else. And maybe that's something I can close up this video with. Why do that? Because number one, Audra likes the sunset gene. We have the infrastructure in place to be able to add the snakes that we like and want. We just want to have a game plan. So you say, hey, but there's no game plan for it. But yes, there is still a game plan. I'll throw out just what's in my big head right now. Even though this is not Audra's ideal, it's going to be her ideal on what she would like to do with this female. But being that I have you guys for this little bit of time, what I would look at is, okay, you have a visual sunset pinstripe female. There's a few avenues we can go. We can keep it very simple and still make things a little complicated and say, hey, you know what? We're going to breed our Grim Reaper to her. I don't see any Grim Het Sunsets on the market, let alone I would love to see a visual Grim Sunset at some point. So go down that journey. So you breed the Grim Reaper, which is super grim, to our pinstripe Sunset girl, you know, when she's ready, and boom. Every single baby that hatches out is going to be Grim, single gene Grim. You're also going to hatch out, you know, for sake of the argument, 50% of the babies will be Grim pinstripe, but everything will be Het Sunset. So you kind of hold back your, you know, females. You probably end up having to hold back a male as well, because I don't see any Grim Het Sunsets on the market. And you kind of work that angle. You could do the same thing with our Atari male, working the Atari spin on it if we wanted to do that. Step it up a little bit more and say, okay, well, you know what? We're going to breed our DG Pod male to the pinstripe sunset. That would be incredible, honestly, because then you'll sit there and first year breeding her, you'll produce normals or pinstripes, but everything will be triple het, 100% triple het DG Pod sunset. Great start. Not a ton of that on the market, if anything. So again, just trying to have a vision on where to go. And it doesn't stop there. Shoot, we can go stranger, double het puzzle clown. And now that the tests are out for puzzle and clown, hatch out those babies, hold back the strangers and test them and see if we can get a triple het stranger puzzle clown sunset. Would be awesome. And then, you know, last but not least, think about it. Something as simple, yes, it's still just a simple recessive with incomplete dominant at play, but be creative. You have that pinstripe sunset girl. She gets the size. We can always, you know, pull out all stops and breed our super inchy, super orange dream leopard hypopod het ultra male to her. I mean, literally hit some home runs right out of the gate. And every single baby will be orange dream inchy. Yeah, orange dream, bare minimum. Every single baby will be orange dream inchy, triple het hypopod sunset, and 50% het for ultra male. So you have the potential of a quad het. You have potential of quad hets, but every single one of your quad hets will be OD and inchy guaranteed. And you still have pinstripe as well as leopard, that half of those babies are going to be as well, and a combination of those. So I mean, that'd be a home run, even if you were able to kind of get one or two females or even a male or whatever. That's a combination of all those genes. That's really got my gears going now. I'm like, man, OD inchy leopard pinstripe quad hets, oh man, that'd be crazy. So again though, I mean, that's up to Audra, see what she wants to do with her baby now. But again, it should also enlighten you to start thinking deeper. And don't be afraid that, you know, there's 100 people, you know, 1,000 people working those programs in front of you. Oh, you started too late. No, you just, you know, keep things concise and think outside the box, be creative. I mean, The sky is truly the limit. Um, keep watching our videos. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Go down that rabbit hole of binge watching all these videos. We got tons of more content coming at you guys. Really appreciate you guys watching. It's Will, Flawless Exotic Creations, and we are out.